Robert Coy Huffman was baptized right here when he was 12 years old.
Is that the point that you're?
Yep, that's it right there.
And is it up Coal Creek or like
Now,
1,000 feet?
my
Which
property
way?
goes right here,
I'm gonna turn that off.
and it goes up this way. I'm here in that big bend. There's a cliff there. It's called the Bluff. It's David Huffman's house right here, and the cemetery is
That mill. Let me think about this.
Fork, and I know that that's the right deed because it mentions Coal.
Yeah,
Creek.
that's great when you have an intersection like that. Yeah.
Here's this.
1782. This is my website. If you want to.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
went
I didn't
in
know,
there
but
and-
190 file 197. So I'm gonna go to here. Sometimes I've been.
I'm taking some pictures too.
So that's that one, but this up here is the William Adams 197. And that's there. That's why I was plotting it. There are several grants, 2 or 3, at that time that mention Roddy's Camp. Oh, what in the world is Roddy? Who's Roddy? I don't know, but that must have been that area. That junction of the 2 creeks was referred to as Roddy's Camp. I think there were more. Well, that's how I put those 2 together. Here, beginning at Thomas Laxton's line, up both sides as far as Roddy's Camp.
I bet you by Roddy's Camp.
It's almost like, was that a Revolutionary War campground, or were they the
I have
mustard?
no idea.
Or was it just a field where maybe 30 years earlier they saw some Indians camped there and they said, okay, we're calling it Roddy's Camp. It's a field now. That's kind of.
Yeah,
Was
this is Earl Huffman's old
Okay.
house down here.
Oh, really?
And this is right now, this is like Shelmer Blackburn's land. And then my land comes right up to here,
We'll slide it down a little.
right in here.
Okay. So part of your land then was owned by
This is my sister's house.
William Adams in 1782. This is the grants are the original landowners.
William
So it doesn't go other than the Native Americans. This is the first state recognized landowner. And then the
So
next,
that's the state's first recognized landowner. William Adams had that.
yeah, these are the original land grants issued by the state, beginning in 1778, and then for Wilkes County as late as 1957. And that means in 1957, there were, in this case, 3 acres that nobody had ever owned before in 1957. But that's over.
Because there's up here,
somewhere else.
my family goes all the way up Lewis Fork Creek on the other side.
You go far enough, you'll
Yeah.
get into Reddy's Perlier.
Yeah,
There's
so
a little bitty.
Fork, it's right off the fork, just about. Yeah, I can hear.
What Huffman are you?
Oh, David's my 3rd great grandfather, David C.
Have you ever heard of Hamp Huffman?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he
If
related?
there's a Huffman, I'm related.
Well, when
Trust
you're
me.
talking about Bowling Springs, my ex-husband's father was Hamp Huffman.
Yes.
So that means my kids
So I
can
buy
be
you.
related.
Probably so. Probably so. Yeah. There's 5 books.
Before we could get to the discussion with Justin about where Jacob's Mill was located at, that's the reason I went down there after the information that we received from Lloyd Wayne Huffman. So, needless to say, whenever you start digging, looking into research, you end up with more questions. And Jason had a question for us. What is meant by Ronnie's Camp, which is located where you're asking about Jacob's Mill? And what did they do there? So, another question.